Future State, Wonder Woman issue number 2. I believe this is the conclusion to Yara Fleur's journey in her own solo title in Future State. She'll obviously be appearing in other books like Justice League and that Batman, or not the Batman, that Superman Wonder Woman book. But I think this is the end for the Yara Fleur solo title. I mean, there's no way this character won't be making an appearance somewhere else in the DC continuity. She is just too cool, too unique, and just too wonderful not to. I really, really liked the first issue of this book. The artwork was great, the writing was great, the character in the world it built up in the span of like a small book. It was really cool. And I'm like, I can't wait to see more of this world and see what comes of it. And boy, did this deliver. You got a conclusion pretty much, which is kind of impressive. We kind of got like a 2-issue arc for this character, seeing how she's doing this one thing. And I like that a lot, but it also leaves the room open for more stories to come. And I think that's pretty cool. So we pick up right where we left off. Yara is in the midst of a battle against the Cerberus. She's trying to get on the boat to the underworld to go free her sister. She said sister in the last issue. In this issue, she says she's looking for a soldier or one of her soldiers, which I think adds to that idea of like the Amazon thing. And obviously this isn't the Amazon tribe that we've seen before. This is, I think they said a different one. I believe there was some point where this character appeared in a previous story of somebody's run on Wonder Woman where it was like a different tribe of Amazon, but it was still connected to Themyscira, which makes sense. So it's fine. And the boat's taking off. Kapora's like, Yara, you gotta go get on the boat. Just leave the dog and run. But she rips the arm off of like this skeleton creature, and she takes it and she's like using it. She's waving this like skeleton bones in front of the Cerberus, using it as like a dog going after a bone. So she throws it away and Cerberus goes after it. And we see that Kapora isn't coming on the journey to the underworld with Yara, so she stays behind. And we just leave Kapora there watching as Yara takes off on the boat. And I say it at the beginning, and I'm going to say it again. The artwork is just too good. Like, you could take any book that's out right now on the shelves and just compare it to the way this artwork looks. The characters are so unique. The colors are so vibrant. The way the gold emulates off of her costume is literally breathtaking. The designs are so cool. I love this like texture that's used in some of the backgrounds and on some of the characters, like this like comic book style. Look, it looks like a comic book. Like some of the like the background dots and everything. It's just so unique. And you notice it a lot in this issue, especially in some of the lighter scenes. So we see that like the boat drops off Yara on land, and when she's walking through this field, she sees like a Grim Reaper type character, and it like pushes her down into the underworld, where she makes the acquaintance of a creature called Thanatos. And it's like, okay, that's a creepy looking, scary looking monster. Now I'm not sure if these are interpretations of like the devil or like the underworld beings, like a Hades type, but in a different continuity. I'm not too sure on that. If these are just like demons throughout different cultures, literature, or history, I'm not too positive. I don't know a lot about like the Brazilian lore that this character has been diving into, so I can't say if these are like people we've seen before in other mediums or other stories. But they look really cool. They all got a unique, distinctive look, and I think that's pretty interesting. So she's like, hey, I need to talk to somebody. I need to talk to the big guy up here, so you got to help me do that. She's pretending to use magic, and we see this big demon creature who's just like this really intense color of black with like these red piercing eyes. And man, it looks so cool. It's such an interesting look. Just something so dark and disturbing. I really enjoy it. Like this creature, well, I think his name was like Persephone or something. Persephone? I can't remember. Oh no, sorry, that's my mistake. So this is... Oh, what is the name of this creature? I think they say it in the book, but either way, there's like a big black creature, and it's obviously like a devil type character, and she's talking to this creature like, all right, so I kind of I need to find my soldier Patira, and this is who the person that Yara came to the underworld to look for is. So Patira is like her sister, her soldier. It's obviously a fellow Amazon. And the big devil guy is just like, I'm not going to help you. But then his wife, who is Persephone, or something like that. Again, I'm not too ingrained in this culture and these ideas, so I don't really know what the names are. So the wife of the big black scary boy is like this beautiful goddess creature with roses in her hair and just like a clean bill of light. And she's like, all right, so my wife vouched for you, so I guess I can help you locate her. I'll give you till this hourglass runs out to find your fallen soldier. If you can do that, you can take her. If not, I get to keep your soul. So have fun, Amazon. Take your time. Go see what you can do. So Yara's like, all right, I accept. And she goes into the pits of all these souls that are kind of lost, these pits of despair, to find her person, Paytura. And you're like, okay, how's this going to play out? We get a flashback to seeing her connection to this woman she's looking for. And you see that the girl's hanging off the side of a cliff. And Yara's trying to pull her up. It's like, you have to let go, and that's how you save yourself. And it's a very interesting idea that we see her kind of get attacked by a man, and Paytura dies, and you're like, oh, okay, so that's kind of sad. But while she's having these visions, Yara is able to pull Paytura out of the crowd of these souls that are lost and save her yet again. And I'm like, that's really fun. What kind of relationship do these two have? I wasn't sure the way they were going to play it, because I was like, is this going to be her literal sister? Because when she said literal sister in the first issue, I'm like, oh, because she have like a younger, older sister she's trying to say that's in the culture of her Amazon. Is it just a soldier? Is it like a lover? I could see it going the route of the lover, like the lost lover that you have to save again, but I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. So they like embrace, and they just like, oh, we did it. And the scary guy in black with the red eyes is like, ah, damn it, she won. I guess the soul's hers. But he's ready just like to take it down and attack, because no soul escapes the underworld, baby. That's just how things go. So they have to fight their way through these oncoming like little spider creatures, much like the episode of The Mandalorian where he attacks those little snow spiders. They're trying to get through. Some caves are starting to collapse, and it falls on Paytura again. And it's like, again, she's trapped and needs Yara to save her. But Yara has to keep going if she's going to like embrace her culture and save her people. And you're like, it's really interesting the way that this book is just like, yeah, this is the story, these are the characters, this is the entire plot, is Yara trying to like, I guess, let go of Paytura and move forward in the other stories that we'll see from her in the future. So it's like, this is the build up to it. I'd imagine if we got more of these future state books, we probably would have seen more of this relationship and more of this development, which we'd probably see in future books anyways. But I think the fact that we're like dedicating this much time to the end of this book to see like Yara went all this way to save her friend, to save her soldier pretty much, and now she has to let go again because she has to save herself. And that's a really interesting thing about this relationship. It's like she's so desperate to save this person, but Paytura's like, you have to let me go. You need to be in the world. Your story is not ended. You have to continue like this. My story may end, but nothing is written yet, so you have to keep fighting. And Yara does eventually get pulled out by some other Amazons, and she says her goodbyes to her friend one last time. And you just see she's like, I failed my Amazons, and I failed everyone. And it's kind of just like an interesting ending to, like, it's a weird ending because she's like, oh, that was really dark, but I guess the light shines through when her Pegasus comes over just to like greet her and just like, aw, you're back. So it's really interesting, man. There's this underlying theme, too, of just, like, the nature of telling a story, which is a big thing at DC for some reason. Just this idea of, like, why we tell stories, what is legacy, what is the purpose of writing, and all that stuff. I didn't really bring that up in the review itself because it's not a big thing, but Kaepora kind of, like, ends the book saying, like, that's why we tell stories, to keep people alive, pretty much, in a sense of, like, they're, like, still with us if we keep talking about them. Makes sense to me. That's something that people could look into. I think it's unique. It's a different experience, but it wasn't a big part of the book, so I didn't really like talk about it as we went through it. But this issue was really good, man. It was really fun. A really cool way to introduce us to the underworld lore of this new DC universe. It gave us a little bit more backstory on the Yara Fleur character and her relationship to her Amazons, how she feels she's failed them, how she feels she failed to save her friend, and all that stuff. Kaepora, still an interesting character I'm excited to see, and I'm curious to see how the Persephone character, like, I'm sorry about the names, but how the beautiful rose flower goddess lady, the wife of the literal demon, is like, yeah, I vouch for this chick. I wonder what that's going to look like later on in future books. I really enjoyed this. I have no criticisms about this book other than I wish we got more of it right now. I could read Yara Fleur's journey forever. If Joelle Jones is working on it forever, I could die happy because she is just the best artist, man. Everything she does, it's all so gorgeous. I'm just obsessed with it. And the colors are so vibrant. It all looks great. I love every second of it, man. It's damn worth your time. You guys should check this out. I'd also be curious to know how this might play into whatever the CW is potentially working on with this character. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm liking this a lot. I think this book is really cool. Really great lore. Can't wait for more of it, honestly. Best book of Future State. I say that every time, but this one might be it. I don't know. I keep going back. Maybe I'll do a big video at the end talking about them all, but I like this a lot. So, Future State Wonder Woman issue number 2, I am going to give a 10 out of 10. Now, thank you guys so much for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.